Bombshell phone recordings from the final weeks of Amy Winehouse's life has surfaced, and they reveal that not only did she know the truth about Madeleine McCann, she was actively working on exposing the elite paedophile ring responsible for the heinous crime.
The things I've seen, Gemma, you wouldn't believe, nobody could. They took Madeleine McCann. I've seen the snuff film. I've seen their faces. And now they know I know.
Forget about the accidental overdose fairy tale the coroner sold you. Amy was clean, sober, sharp as a blade. And she was armed with the most dangerous weapon on earth. The truth about who really runs the world. In her final weeks, Amy was calling journalists, judges, the authorities, anyone with a backbone. She told them everything. The Podestas, the Epstein-Maxwell pipeline, the entertainment industry parties, where children are currency and silence is enforced by blackmail, bribery and buddies. 3 weeks later, she was dead. No investigation, no autopsy worth the name. Just a rushed verdict, a staged vodka bottle, and a world that shrugged and called it tragic. But the recording survived. Listen to the calls, hear the fury, and then ask yourself, who silenced Amy Winehouse? And how many other stars have been silenced for the same reason? Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. These are Amy Winehouse's own words, captured in the final weeks of her life. And they paint a picture so disturbing, you'll question everything you thought you knew about the world. Let's start with the official story. Amy relapsed, drank herself into a coma, accidental death, case closed. Except her toxology reports don't match. Except her neighbours reported that she was sober for months. Except the coroner's inquest took less than an hour. No forensic examination, no deep dive. Just a rubber stamp and a closed file. Now ask yourself, when has a celebrity death ever been that clean? These tapes changed the timeline. In these recordings, Amy isn't slurring or stumbling. She's articulate, focused, terrified, but not for herself, for the world, for the children, for what Prince had entrusted her with, because in his words, Amy was a fearless and ferocious warrior in this war against evil. Here's the evidence the mainstream media won't touch. Prince had been gathering intelligence on the elite paedophile network for years. He wasn't just a musician, he was an archivist. He kept files, photographs, videos and names, all meticulously stored in his famous vault. And he shared the most damaging piece with Amy, the Madeleine McCann material. Because in his words, this wasn't just a crime, it was the master key, the one that unlocks every door, that exposed the whole network. And Prince knew that if the world ever saw what he saw, the whole rotten empire would finally fall.
Gem, I'm not going to lie, that tape f***ed me right up worse than any drug.
Amy saw disgusting footage of Madeleine McCann and John Podesta, screaming at her to call him Skippy, terrorising the young child, deliberately causing her body to release adrenochrome into her bloodstream, before bleeding her out and drinking the blood during a satanic ritual.
He kept screaming in her face, while the others... No, I just can't, Gem. Her eyes, I'll never forget them.
Let's be explicit about what that means. The footage Amy describes isn't grainy surveillance or blurry paparazzi shots. It's professional grade. A room, bright lights, a bed. Madeleine McCann, recognisable from every missing poster you've ever seen. Surrounded by men, Amy identified as John and Tony Podesta. Should we be surprised? The Podestas have been hiding in plain sight for years, protected by the system. But just quickly, before we go any further, if you're using a legacy VPN, cancel right now. You're under attack. The entire VPN industry has been compromised. The world's leading VPNs have been bought out by Cape Technologies, an Israeli company closely linked to Mossad. That's why vp.net/TPV was created. It's superior tech. It's fast, it's unhackable, and you don't have to trust promises of anonymity. vp.net/TPV proves it in real time. Now back to Amy Winehouse. Here are the facts. The Podesta brothers were in Praia da Luz on May the 3rd, 2007, the day Madeleine vanished, staying at $1 million chateau just 1/3 of a mile from the crime scene. The chateau was owned by their close friend Clement Freud, grandson of Sigmund Freud. Like most of their friends, Clement just so happened to be a convicted paedophile. And here's the part that will make your blood run cold. The police sketches, they match. There was a third police sketch too. A woman who was believed to be travelling with the two men. A woman who strongly resembles the Podesta's friend Ghislaine Maxwell, the world's most notorious child trafficker, who just so happened to help Jeffrey Epstein set up the Clinton Global Initiative and Clinton Foundation, the same organisation that employed John Podesta at the time.
Well, one thing that's fascinating is she point blank tells the Justice Department, quote, "I was part of the beginning process of the Clinton Global Initiative." And then she goes on to say that she believes Jeffrey Epstein actually funded the Clinton Global Initiative and that they came up with the idea together while on a trip to Davos. Now, we know that this lines up with the exact start of the Clinton Foundation.
You couldn't make this up if you tried. And yet, somehow the perpetrators have not been brought to justice. Somehow the Podesta brothers have never even faced questioning. If this isn't proof the system is rigged, and that satanic paedophiles rule the world, I'm not sure what is. But the people are waking up and demanding justice, which is why John Podesta trembles in fear and melts down whenever Pizzagate is mentioned.
And I am sick of the, I have been, my family and I have been put through this Pizzagate bullshit for a year, which has been totally debunked, by the way.
He's wrong. It hasn't been debunked. On the contrary, evidence continues to mount. And when you hear the evidence Prince showed to Amy Winehouse, everything will come into focus. And you'll understand why the elite paedophile ring has to kill people to stay in control.
I said, listen, Prince, mate, I'm going to make sure the world finds out. Alright? I don't care if they kill me. They'll have to kill both of us, innit?
What Prince didn't know, what he couldn't have known, was just how ruthless they truly are. He didn't realise they would ritually slaughter the world's most loved performers, one after the other, to protect the paedophiles caught up in their blackmail operations. From Michael Jackson to Chester Bennington to Avicii and Anne Heche, the elite paedophile ring has been protected with vicious efficiency. This is the machine Amy stumbled into, a network that doesn't hesitate, that doesn't leave witnesses, that protects its own with vicious efficiency, whether you're a pop star or a little girl in Portugal. And coming up next, you're about to hear what Amy saw that made her a target. It turns out that the key to losing weight and keeping it off is not about obsessing over carbs or fat or even probiotic-rich foods. The way to maintain a healthy weight, as well as increase your energy levels and live a long, healthy life, comes down to a specific and simple switch that you can flip in your body to flush out all of those unnecessary calories. Dr. Stephen Gundry calls this process the caloric bypass. He has seen thousands of people who have activated this process in their bodies dramatically improve their health. The people who've tried this find that their fat melts away, their energy levels improve like they were young again, and many of their health problems just simply vanish. Dr. Stephen Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research, and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. He says that he feels younger and healthier today than when he was 40 years old. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch it and learn more by visiting thehealthyfat.com/TPV. Please click the link below this video to learn his secret technique for free at thehealthyfat.com/TPV. Picture this: Amy Winehouse, clean from heroin, off the booze, finally healthy, finally happy. And she's sitting on the nuclear codes of global corruption. The names, the footage, the proof that a cleanup crew is systematically eliminating famous names who threaten their blackmail empire of compromised paedophiles.
Prince told me he knew they killed Michael. Said Michael was going to blow the whole thing open. The Neverland stuff was all set up to discredit him. And when he wouldn't back down, they pumped him full of propofol and made it look like an accident. Prince said they'd do the same to him.
That's what we're dealing with here. And despite John Podesta's claims that Pizzagate has been debunked, investigations have proven that pedophiles use all the code words that Podesta himself was using in his emails. The Podesta emails remain the gold standard for proving the existence of a pedophile ring operating in the highest corridors of power.
I went through each post and I started to notice there was even children that were offering to sell their body to these older individuals. They're using some terminology here, a lot of things being brought up about pizza and cooking and this and that and CP. A lot of them are acronyms for child pornography. Cheese pizza would be CP. When they talk about another group, they're talking about another Telegram group. And to join that group, you have to send child pornography to another user, like one of the moderators, I believe it was, and then they would invite you. So it's kind of like proving you're not a police officer.
Years before WikiLeaks leaked Podesta's emails, and before I published the bombshell report proving his emails contained FBI pedophile code words, Andrew Breitbart went on record asking, "What's in your closet, John Podesta?"
Fuck you, John Podesta.
All right, well, you see where I'm coming from.
Okay, yeah.
When I talk, that's because I'm interested in this ongoing whatever the hell they're doing.
What's in your closet, John Podesta?
Whatever the hell they're doing. What's in your closet, John Podesta?
Big Podesta? Big Soros? Do you want us to play these games? Because we're playing to win.
Breitbart was found dead of an alleged heart attack shortly after. But the questions he raised didn't go away. And when Amy saw the snuff film, she stumbled on the answer to what was in Podesta's closet. She started calling journalists, got nowhere. Started calling politicians, and got hung up on. Started calling anyone who'd listen. And that's when the threats began. The recordings capture it. The veiled warnings. The friendly visits from people who weren't friends. The sudden appearance of a new doctor prescribing medication she never asked for. The strange car that sat outside her Camden flat for 3 days.
Jim, they're watching me. I know it sounds mad, but there's this car been sitting outside my flat for 3 days now. Same one. Never moves. And yesterday, this new doctor shows up. Yeah? Never met him before. Says he's been sent to check on me. Starts talking about some new medication I never asked for. I told him to piss off.
Amy knew she was marked. When a famous name puts their head above the parapet and takes on the elite paedophile ring, there's a price. And the collectors don't wear suits. They carry credentials from the most ruthless intelligence agency on Earth. Because, here's the part they don't tell you, the blackmail archives gathered by Epstein and Maxwell weren't just for parties and favours. They were Israel's nuclear option, leverage over every powerful figure in the West, including the Podestas and Clintons. And when someone threatens that archive, when someone like Amy Winehouse gets too close, Mossad doesn't negotiate, they neutralise. Watch as legendary Mossad assassin Yuval Aviv clams up on the Epstein footage.
Like, that's not the real evidence. The real evidence is on the hard drives, because there's survivors, there's girls that were there that testified that he had rooms as big as this room right now that were filled with servers and computers and monitors that were recording all that footage that he had, not only on the island, but in New York, the Zora Ranch, everywhere.
On a plane,
cameras.
The plane was rigged and everywhere.
Where's all that footage?
I can't tell you.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I guess?
No, please don't. Not now. Don't guess now. So that's why I said the days.
Let me ask you this.
The day it will come out is important. It has to be the right time, the right day.
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry to put a legendary Mossad assassin on the hot seat. But if I was to guess, do you think I would guess right?
Probably. That's why we shouldn't talk about it right now.
All right. That's all I needed to know.
On July the 23rd, Amy was found dead in her home. Empty vodka bottles staged around her. A toxology report that somehow finds alcohol in her system, despite witnesses swearing she'd been dry for months. No autopsy worth the name, no investigation, no questions. Just a funeral, a tribute, and a legacy reduced to a troubled artist. But the tapes survived. Her friend, the one she'd sent the recordings to for safekeeping, kept them hidden for 15 years. Why now? Because the statute of limitations on the cover-up doesn't expire. because the Podestas are still walking free, because Madeleine McCann is still missing, and because someone needs to say what the coroner wouldn't. Amy Winehouse was murdered by the machine that took Madeleine, the same machine that protected Prince's killers when he conveniently overdosed on painkillers in 2016, right as he was preparing to go public. Coincidence? There are no coincidences in this world. Not when children are currency. Not when the elite play snuff films for sport. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the crimes of the elites, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel, share this video far and wide, and join the People's Voice Locals community to be part of our incredible community of truth seekers and to support the channel. I hope to see you there.